Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Huda London. This is the case of the Idaho quadruple murders. May the 4 victims rest in peace, condolence to their families, and may the correct justice be served. I wanted to go back to the crime scene pictures that was taken in the beginning of this case. I've spoken about this a couple of months ago, and I find this to be really important. I believe that something happened in the living room, and I'll try and explain it as properly as I can. This is a picture of Bethany Funk, Emily, and I believe Maddie. I just wanted to show you how the living room looked like. We can see a bar table behind BF, and we see the pink picture, the pink frame above her, and on the left hand side we see the good vibes picture. That is where one of the unidentified male DNAs was found, or fingerprints, or handprint.
Second floor, still working, but in the meantime, the third floor, there was the middle window on the third floor. The light was on when I was live with you last. Now the light is turned off on the third floor. But before we noticed the third floor window light, the light turned off through the window, there were photographers up there, like we witnessed on your show just moments ago on the second floor. CSI taking photos, as we can see now on the second floor, they're taking photos. So they're still actively working this scene. They've been here all day long. It's been roped off with crime scene tape. We've seen the victim's vehicle still parked up front. We've seen investigators walk in and out of the front door of this home carrying giant boxes, I presume full of evidence. On the back side, we witnessed investigators, of course, taking out evidence from the back door, which is the second floor of this house, through a sliding door. They were actually dusting for fingerprints on the back window pane next to that sliding door. And this is almost a week after 4 University of Idaho students were found brutally murdered inside this home. And what we've been hearing, what's being reported, is that 2 of the victims were on the second floor, where we see now the crime scene investigators collecting forensics, and on the third floor of this home is where they were actually located. We're also learning some new details from the Moscow Police Department this evening. They're confirming that, of course, the 4 murdered inside were stabbed to death multiple times while they were likely asleep. Some had defensive wounds. Maybe they heard what was going on and woke up. We don't know, but we're confirming there's no sign of any sexual assault or what maybe some have speculated as motive in this crime. Also, there were 2 surviving roommates in this multi-room home that were unharmed, and the detectives have ruled them out. They believe that the 2 surviving roommates and a young man that is seen in video at the food truck where 2 of the victims were hours before their death, they ruled them out. They are not involved in this crime. Additionally, we learned from the police this evening that any rumors that these victims had been tied or gagged, that was not accurate. They still, though, aren't releasing who called 911, because they're saying that these murders happened around maybe 3 or 4 a.m. last Sunday morning. Police were not called until noon, and they arrived at this home with the front door wide open. They released that there's no signs of forced entry in this home. And when we've been here, we've noticed that the front door has a door handle with a security code lock pad. That some sense of maybe security here at the home, but they say no forced entry. And what they found. Still no suspect or suspects named. We know that the dumpsters that are to my right and left here at the home, they've collected items. They did mention that. And they also are confirming that they've contacted local businesses here to determine.
If you pay close attention, the forensic team are taking pictures of the corridor. That's where or Xana's room actually was, and the toilet is on the left-hand side of the bath. You can clearly see that they take a lot of pictures at the corridor. And we heard from News Nation or Banfield that they got it from some sources that was found at the corridor. I really do believe that was actually found at the corridor, because something happened from the living room to the corridor and in front of Xana's room. Unfortunately, you can see the way they're taking the pictures. They've taken many pictures around those areas. And the reason I believe that something happened or something began from the living room is this is just my thoughts and my speculations. Could it be possible that and Xana were chilling at the living room? Because we heard that from Xana's father. He said that he called his daughter Xana at midnight and she said she's going to be at home and order some food. Or that she was just chilling at home was the correct sentence he used. Apologize. So what if somebody came from the first floor? Because the forensics was taking a lot of pictures at the steps that goes from the living room down to Bethany Funke's room and the spare room. If you look closely at this picture, you can see that the corridor is at the left-hand side, and that leads to Xana's room. The forensics were taking pictures where BF is standing with the black t-shirt, and they were taking pictures towards the corridor too. There was a unidentified male fingerprint or handprint at the Good Vibes picture. So I wonder if a struggle happened in the living room, and that's how the fingerprints got there. I've always said I believe something or somebody was sitting in the living room when the attack happened. There's the forensic teams taking pictures where BF was standing. So the forensic team was taking pictures of that table near that pink frame and next to the Good Vibes frame. They took pictures of the steps leading to BF's room too. You can clearly see them taking pictures of the pink frame, and there's the picture of the Good Vibes. They were taking pictures of all these places here. I think the forensic team found something there because she called the detective and she's showing him something on the floor. And right over there is where the steps leads to Bethany Funke's room. Is that the exculpatory evidence she has? They took a lot of pictures there. I wonder if there was a gathering that night. Was there a small gathering or a party? Because you can see the red cups there. And I believe that somebody or some people came from the first floor up the steps to the living room. He and Zana must have been sitting and chilling in the living room, or Zana could have been in a room and he could have been in the toilet. It's just a thought. Let me know what you'll think. Please like, share and subscribe.